Hello, that one worked. Hello, I am the Roninpawn, and welcome to the Clustertruck Speedrunning Tournament of Champions 2021. The beat goes on, but a doom to doom data. I am sat here with AJ213. How you doing?
Hello, I am the AJ213. Is that how I do it?
You prefer the 213 or the 213? You doubling those 13s? You roll red 26 on the roulette tables, or do you go for 13 with 2 chips? What are we doing?
AJ 26? No. 90 213, but
90 proof. What? Oh, no.
90 proof?
Welcome to the That's weak stuff, actually. Welcome to the show, everybody. Who's in chat with us? Jermasian's here today. Jordan Gaming. TF, you're in one of these races. Did you know that, TF? Nijman 24, Sarastes, other people, Jim. I see a Jim in there. I see a Mr. Jones, a Twitch Fox, so forth and so on. Noahkra, you've been organizing this event. Are you aware of that? Welcome to the show, everybody. We're going to be we missed last week's round of races in the tournament because AJ over here was really feeling under the weather due to his chronic fatigue syndrome. I hope you're feeling better now. How did that, take you out? Tell me about the worst. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I really actually should take the vitamin D. It's my chronic fatigue syndrome. But we're back on schedule, we're back on pace, and we're ready to race, I kind of think. Who do we got coming up in the first race?
All right.
J. 2.
We have
13.
Triximix versus LoLo or Lorenzo?
213. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. We have Triximix versus LoLo and noU. What's noU? noUtility. Or we could just say noU, because that sounds pretty cool, right? noU? Huh? Okay.
I know you. I know you.
I know you. And noU.
So Trixie and who the hell? Trixie and LoLo coming up by noUtility. Yes. So who do we favor here in this race? What do the bets look like? What does Vegas have to say about this competition? Where's the money lie?
It's actually pretty even. It's 49 to 51. 49 Trixie, 51 LoLo, so I kind of agree with that analysis because I don't know who's going to win either. I don't know. It depends who practiced and how much.
First of a number of runs. We are, incidentally, everybody watching, we are now into, what is it, tier 4 or something? We're round 4 of these competitions. We are getting closer and closer to the point where there are just 2 people in the category. We're in the last month worth of races in this tournament right now, and that means that we are seeing some of the fastest people in the game going head to head, and that's why we've got people saying, I don't know who's going to win in this category, 49-51. It's only going to get more and more exciting from here on out, and we're going to see some really good neck-and-neck style races, or some big upsets that nobody saw coming in either event. It's going to be exciting, so stay tuned across the next couple of weekends going forward, because this is when to be watching. This is pod racing. That said, we've got both of the runners at their starting blocks. If we want to start, I suppose we could try and do that sort of a thing. I'm going to crank up some stream volume on both of these runners just in case, see if we can hear something in the background.
You know what, Ronan? We might as well start. And you know what? I'm going to do a countdown. Runners, get ready. I'm going to count down. It's scary. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
The timer didn't start. Timer started exactly. It started right on time. It just wasn't running. The real time was the problem. There we go. It's been running the whole time. Okay. We're professionals.
Yeah.
We do this every weekend.
We're 4 minutes 30 seconds in. Yeah.
Is that what it says? Let's just
this approximately 20 seconds. You don't want to restart?
What if this is fine. This is a good time to start the timer. It's
okay.
We've got a whole new staff of Clustertruck verifiers doing timing, so if it matters, we'll just have one of them break it down.
Okay.
So I guess add about 30 seconds to whatever the time is at any given point through this run is what we're saying. I just made both of these runners look extra friggin' cool. You're welcome, people. You are killing it. My God. Just 30 seconds in, you're already clearing 1-8? Jesus. Look at LoLo. Going for the pause bounce on 1-9 LoLo is as well, and getting a very nice one with a little bit of lev pushing out. So for anyone who's just joining us who hasn't watched the rest of the competition here, AJ, tell us what the runners have to work with here in noUtility.
Okay, in noUtility, we don't have the portable truck, so we can't do a lot of the skips that involve like launching off of walls, but we do have levitation, which allows us to stay in the air for quite longer than you would normally expect. Like, even the game developers, right, they tried to make it so that levitation's pretty bad. Like, oh, levitation's absolutely nerfed. But it turns out if you just lightly tap levitation, it stops all of your downwards momentum.
Oh, LoLo with the reset here on 2-4, I believe. 2-3, 2-4, just getting kind of stuck out there. Had lots of levitation, but just found himself sort of hovering in midair with no trucks to get back to and had to take a reset, which has allowed Trixie to be in the same level with LoLo, even though LoLo had that early lead going. We've got both runners in the same level, little more than 1 second gap between them right now. If everybody hangs on, we could... Oh, but Triximix is taking a death, setting him back as LoLo clears 2-5, and LoLo pulls ahead again.
One of the things that they're going to switch to 10. Okay, but continue.
One of the things we noticed before this stream started was that we can no longer offer you the video in glorious 60 frames per second because of the limitations on the Clustertruck Discord speedrun server. And this is totally not a promotion to say, you know, if one of you went along and gave us a boost for $3 or whatever it costs, then we'd have 60 frames again. I'm not saying it because of that. I'm just saying it so that you know that because none of you have given us a little bit of money on the server, you have to watch at this shit frame rate. So that's, you know, no judgment though, dicks.
No judgment.
So LoLo is in 210, got some kind of nice launch to put him up this high with levitation. Yeah, getting up and over the big hill there puts him out in 210 and into World 3 as Triximix starts out 210, a level that can always take lives from you, no matter what abilities you've got, and Trixie does take that death on 210. It's a nasty one. It is a nasty one.
It's really surprising that LoLo's been able to get the pause bounces like sort of decent first try too. So
yeah, it's been amazing seeing how much runners in general have managed to turn. A little bit of a death there on 3-4, giving Trixie a chance to catch up. How much runners in Speed or in Clustertruck have managed to turn some of our things that were just a couple of months ago, like, it's just luck whether you get this or not, into absolutely consistent, viable strategies. The pause bounce, as well as some PPTBs that previously were thought of as maybe you go for it in the ILs, have become methods that are usable in the full runs. People just getting real good at this game.
Ooh. Trixie getting 3-5 first try is putting him right next to LoLo.
He's entering as LoLo is exiting. Ooh, Trixie went for the high speed movement across there. Didn't quite get it at the end, but I will remind everyone again, Trixie, I would say, invented that high movement speed. He and I were fighting for world record in noAbility, and that was something that I first saw him do. As far as I know, anyway. There's surely someone in chat yelling, "It was me!" There always is.
Actually... Lolo put a good clear in 310 without dying, I think, at least. That's what I saw. Oh, let's see what Trixie does. Probably gonna make it in.
Good
Smooth.
speed with an exit to the left and then some levitation gets him to the goal, and still we're looking at just 1 level separation between these 2 runners. Trixie's still taking those deaths at a certain sort of consistent rate, I would say, that's giving Lolo the chance to stay ahead, taking another one on 4-1. Nasty little RNG-based level 4-1 is these lasers are completely random every time, their timing, their movement, their patterns, and it can hold you up. Really what Trixie wants to do at this point is probably like slow down once he gets to the front here, make sure he's got an exit, look ahead, and walk it in. Yep.
We ain't running ILs. Stop rushing in 4-1.
You gotta go for it the first time, but in a race environment, if it doesn't come in, it's time to back off on the second try, I'd say.
Trixie, gotta do the 4-5 pause bounce. Do it, do it. Don't do it.
It would gain some time, wouldn't it? It would also be ridiculous. A pause bounce on 4-5 is that much harder than even the PTB, which is still a coin flip if you're good at it. Or the PPTB, rather.
TBPPP? BBTBPP.
Oh!
Oui.
Lolo catching his forehead on those lasers here. I was wondering, this is a difficult level for any runner. This is the one that the frame rate kind of messes with the patterns of the lasers. So if your monitor's running at a different hertz, then it's going to show up differently for you. And that means that you've got an opportunity to invent your own strategy. But that also means that you have to invent your own strategy in a lot of circumstances. And it tends to take a lot of deaths.
Sometimes people like to make their own Care Bears.
Ooh. Lolo is really needs to just reset at this point, but staying in.
It's still possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes for the long shot, manages to pull it off and save the time of having to take that reset. I was wrong, but I'm not going to acknowledge it. That was risky, is what I'll say. And so we've got Lorenzo into World 5, while Triximix is still trying to clear out the last few levels of Laser World.
Oh, it's not that bad. I think you can levitate to the end. Nice.
And Triximix now into that same level 410, getting much better luck as well as movement across the opening, but... Oh, just barely managing to stay in the air and save it. His butt was millimeters from the ground on that one, but he has entered into World 5 here in an attempt to regain some of this lost time over Lolo. Renzo with good speed through here. Can he make it with that levitation? He can and does, out of 5-7 into 5-8. Looking for a way to get up and over those early flamethrowers and then find a truck to connect with at the end of the level to keep pushing through. That's a nice 9-7. A little bit risky, but nice. And then, yeah, Triximix looking for, you can land on those poppers sometimes when they get low, when they get back down. If you land softly on them, then technically you'll be on the top of the popper as opposed to touching the death plane of the surface of the level's ground, I suppose. But Trixie is, or rather Lolo, is now in World 6 as Trixie is just halfway through Medieval there. So we're going to be looking for, if this is going to turn around, some late game difficulties on Lolo's screen, which are definitely possible. And Medieval is a shorter world, but right now Lolo with a commanding lead.
Well, will be interesting to see if things change up with the late game, though the last 3 worlds are a different experience. Really.
How much time have you put into noUtility, AJ?
Not much. It's actually my worst category. I'm even better at noAbility at it. But that being said, I have like an 18-something IGT in it. So, yeah. That's it.
Do you How do you feel, or what do you know about, like, noUtility strats for getting through Sci-Fi World, which is where I think we have a possibility to see this gap close up? You know, does noUtility make that significantly easier, or is it still kind of a mess?
There's some levels that there's some crazy strats for, like 7-3. I was watching Noah once, and he just like went over the start with a bunch of speed. 7-8 is very difficult because you don't have the portable truck to do the little truck boost launching thingy. And then 7-9, you have to like run as fast as possible to go over the laundry thing, right? So those are the levels I could imagine can be difficult if you actually know the strats, but...
Yeah, that 7-9 skip in particular requires basically every single ounce of speed that you can get, that you can possibly get in order to then use your levitation in just the right way at just the right time, or die. So that is a very tricky strat that we don't see a lot of runners go for. But yeah, this will be the place. World 7 is a place where either you can take that one-off death that sets you back 20-30 seconds, or you can just get stuck against the RNG that'll be coming up against LoLo here shortly. 7-3, very high skill level kind of a level here. With a little bit of levitation, he's just grinding for a bit of a mega jump, and then carefully using that lev to make sure that he gets to the goal. But coming into 7-4 and 7-5, this is where we start shooting missiles at your face, and you just get to have to deal with that.
One comment about that 7-3 though, I remember we calculated before that if you're doing the height jump really slowly like that, it's actually slower than if you were to drop down. Which is why you have to take it extremely fast in order for it to save time to go over the everything.
I didn't know
That's
that.
at least what I remember. So yeah, don't take the risk if you don't want to.
A good path through 7-5 that gets him straight to the goal without significant issue. Into 7-6, jumping immediately off to the side and just going to lev in. I've not tried this with just levitation, so I'm always like a little bit edge of my seat because I'm expecting from any percent that you need that PTB boost off the wall, but clearly you don't. LoLo is in with it and walking into 7-7. That said, these longer levels in Sci-Fi World are precisely the place where ranks, or rather leads, can be changed, because if you don't get the right move... Oh!
Okay, Trixie just tried it. Trixie just tried the strat. Is it going to have enough levitation, though, to live?
Oh, missing the goal right at the end.
Please. Oh, Trixie. Stop flexing on us and just do the level normally. And that's what I was thinking for LoLo right now, for 7-8. Just do the level normally, don't do any skips. It's not worth it. It's not worth the 40-second time loss, at worst. Missile.
And both of the runners taking a missile to the forehead on 7-4. Alright, into 7-9 now. Doesn't look like Lorenzo is setting up for the high speed move, looking instead for... nice mega jump with a little bit of levitation takes him in. That looks actually very, very safe. Certainly not as fast as just running at full steam, but I would go for that 100% of the time in the noUtility percent category. And Lorenzo moving into World 8, Steampunk. It almost frustrates me to see runners just, like, take that gap with levitation in 8-1. Even in any percent. Like, in my own PB, I took, like, 3 deaths trying to set up for a PTB to send myself straight to the end goal. I mean, I watch somebody come in and all they've got is levitation in their pocket, and they just run forward, take a casual jump, clear the gap, and walk into goal. It's like, you're making it look easier than it is.
LoLo makes 8-3 look easy because he took it slow.
Take it easy. No singing on the Clustertruck speedrun tournaments. We already decided that.
No, copyright, right? Yeah.
Oof. I do not like the way that I'm watching Triximix take movements on the 40-second long level here, jumping back toward the explosions, getting some speed up, and then running here. Alright, so long... is he just gonna land? Okay, he did. I'm like, why hasn't he already leved at least once by now? Okay, we're fine. He's doing things the way he's meant to. 8-7, nasty RNG on this level, but if he can get to the top of the ramp ahead here without dying, then levitation will carry him the rest of the way, without having to worry about those trucks on the other side that like to stand up on their back legs and kick you off. Into 8-8. Wondering, we've seen a lot of runners not actually go for just the pure levitation version of this. But he does have all the lev. An early lev there. Another touch. Oh no, Trixie! Getting blown off the side on 7-10 there. And LoLo has gone for this. Not a lot of lev left. Needs one more touch, and he's in on the back end of 8-8. As Trixie struggles with 7-10.
You need to discipline Trixie.
So there's, at this point, one world gap between these two runners, unless we see something go really awry in hell. LoLo has a strong lead.
I always forget in 8-10, you could literally, once you pass one of the gears, you can just wait and go past the rest of them. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, from early, because I'm a noAtility runner, first and foremost, and it was all about movement, I figured out that timing from very, very early, and every time that I've seen a runner, like, pause or hesitate or wait those gears out, I'm like, what are you doing? You could just, you wait and then you go. And then once you go, you don't have to wait. So don't wait, go. Wait and go and go and wait and go. Oh!
Very interesting strat. 9-2.
Taking another death on Triximix's screen in 8-4 there. And LoLo is in 9-3, jumping back to avoid that crucifix, sweeping out the truck. Oh! Manages to save something there. Oh, and in comes the crucifix to make for a bad day. Running forward, looking for some speed, gonna go out to the right and push into goal. Impressive, holding it together when the level wanted you dead.
Even the frame rate was bad.
If only someone would donate like $5 or so to boost the... I mean, and Trixie is jumping off of things, and LoLo's doing other things. LoLo into 9-5 now, running at full speed, using a little bit of levitation, make sure that he's landing on the right trucks, getting to the front trucks, and going out without ever having to see one of those falling and crumbling crucifixi? What's the plural of crucifix?
I like crucifixi.
Crucifixes. Into 9-7 now. This is, what do we call this? Cerberus, the three-headed dog beast of Satan. Made easier with a little bit of levitation, but still just nasty because of the kinds of jumps and non-jumps that the trucks will choose to give you of seemingly their own volition, getting you killed, as LoLo is demonstrating right there, just had a jump kind of eaten. The trucks being on this uneven terrain like this, they just don't behave the way you expect them to. You're not getting the same kind of velocity and height off of your movement that you would usually see throughout every other level, but it looks like on the second pass, LoLo has cleared it and is into 9-8. Looking to avoid some rolling pentagrams now, wants to get out to the right for these last two, come back to the left, and push into goal. And now he's just gotta cross the final chain to Satan's domain. No chatting while commentating. Alright, that's LoLo into 9-10 as Trixie is in 9-2, looking for a pause bounce here to get him up to the top so he can just bump into the side of the button. Doesn't quite get enough height, so he's going to try the armpit techniques, sliding in without having to climb the rest of Cluster Satan. and just climbing carefully to the top. Needs to hit the button from the side with a little bit of speed in order to glitch it so that it gets pressed twice instead of once and ends the game immediately. Going to the outside, a little bit of lav, into the side, and that is Trixie, done in 20 minutes and 18 seconds, plus the 30 when the timer didn't run at the beginning. So, probably a 21-minute time. A low 21.
Not bad. Not bad.
Did I say Trixie? LoLo? You know what I meant if I didn't say it right. Trixie now, climbing the hill in 9.6, looking for a bit of a launch off of the top. A little bit of levitation could take him all the way to goal here. And into Cerberus, that three-headed beast level. Let's see what kind of luck Trixie has off of this. Already a little bit lower than he'd like to be, but maintaining some speed that can be helpful crossing this Valley of the Shadow of Death, which is what I think of it as. He's got good movement, a little bit of lev. Overusing the lev there. He could have done that with 2 taps of lev. It works out fine, though. He's into 9-8, and now he needs to dodge him some pentagrams. These pentagrams roll at random intervals, have random wobble to them. They do have a limitation on their randomness, so you see them coming in mostly the same formation, but when you start grinding it for the highest speeds, you will realize, oh, they're random within deviation. They are not set.
Wobbly boys. That's all I could think. Curious to see if Trixie does the pause bounce.
Oh, that's right.
9,
I think in previous runs we've seen Trixie just run it up the 40-second route. But going for the pause bounce here, and getting it second try, getting something second try. Not quite high enough, but he can get over the horn, little levitation, stick to some of the top trucks here, turn around, push to the top, and how's he going to aim to hit the button? Coming in from the side, same method. That's a 22.14 for Triximix, plus the 30. Let's say it's a 22.45, and that is both of our runners cleared in less than 23 minutes. A very good race, but we did see LoLo just sort of get himself about a half a world lead early, about middle of the race, and then turn that into a full world lead, and maintain most of that hold until the end.
Dang. You know what that means, Ronan?
What does that mean?
He's gone. Because after this race, he said he would retire. Isn't that right, Trixie?
That's right.
You're not going to hold, the rest of the community to that promise, are you? We need you to keep running.
I understand, but yeah. Sometimes maybe I will just run occasionally, maybe if you do another tournament.
Oh, okay, so they should be there for the next tournament if there's one?
Maybe.
Maybe.
How
okay.
much time did you manage to put into noUtility as a category before this race today?
Let me check on live split. Total time. Maybe 3 hours 41 minutes. Total play time in noUtility.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to have a lot of time in this particular category, but good noAbility runner to start with, and put in some practice time, and I think you gave us a real good run today, especially for your exiting from the tournament run.
I don't know if it's really a good run. I was like 2-3 minutes behind my PB, so yeah, I'm not really proud of this run, but that's not terrible, at least.
Well, we won't dip it in bronze, but you didn't embarrass yourself, at least, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Lorenzo, our winner of this race, how do you feel about the run that you just put in? We're guesstimating that at about what do we say, like a 21:30 or something like that?
PB?
Around a minute behind PB.
Oh, okay.
Did you have a local timer running? Could you tell us what it took?
No, I don't.
Yeah. It's fine. I did my job really well and started the timer exactly on time, so you could trust me. About a 21:30-ish kind of. So. Any particular point that you were happy to get a strat, or pissed off that you didn't?
I don't remember exactly what levels, but I remember having some embarrassing deaths.
Yeah, I felt like wherever you did take a death, you took one and then moved on from it. Managed to just keep a good racer's pace throughout this whole thing and not get particularly stuck anywhere. I remember in the early game, do you remember, AJ, when it was that both runners were like 1 second apart? It was very early in Forest World.
I do remember that, I do.
And so you must have taken a death early on.
Laser.
Oh yeah, I remember I died on 2-3.
2-3, which
make
is
it all the way
2-3?
up the
First
giant
you do that.
chasm.
Oh, that's right. The Dragon Ball Z level, the Vegeta versus Goku level, where all the trucks are just slowly rising as two people below are coming, is what I always assume is happening.
Oh, I should have caught that.
Well, that means that LoLo moves on to, it's going to be round 5 of, how many rounds are there even? We're getting to the point where it's just 2 runners against each other in both brackets, and we're getting very close to that at this point in the race. So I believe you're moving on to round 5. Trixie, hope to see you back in future tournaments, and more so, hope to see you, still running on the leaderboards. Don't leave us, or at least hang out with us in Discord, and you could be one of the long-toothed old men like me just talking about back in the day. I remember noUtility was we used to run, and nobody cared about it, and they still don't. I remember. Those were the good old days. That said, we've got 2 more races to get through today, and we've gotten through this one in record time thanks to having 2 very fast runners with us. So we're going to take ourselves a bit of a live stream break. When we come back, we will be with you for 2 more races ahead with significantly fast runners. We got Noah, and we got Snake, and we got TF, and we got... I had to forget somebody's name. And we got something Max. I had to forget, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. So stick with us as we go to this live stream break. We will not be gone long. Pawn not out.
This stream is sponsored by
Hello, I am the Roninpawn, and welcome back to the twitch.tv/Roninpawn, apparently, because it's where we've been hosting them. Clustertruck Speedrunning Tournament 2021. We are on to our second race. I am, of course, sat here with AJ213, man of La Mancha, we call him.
Mancha?
Because I don't know, that came to me anyway. I don't know. Who's the man of La Mancha?
From the gods?
Is it Don Quixote? Is that a reference or something? I don't know. Anyway, welcome back to the races. So we just saw a noUtility race from two very high-ranking runners into the last few rounds of the races here. And we're about to see another one. Who's on the docket, AJ?
So we have our Noah, which is... Whoa, what's this showing? Okay, we have Noah, which is the guy getting this whole thing to work. And then we have Max, which... Yeah, I even have an image. Wait, we have an image. We have... I don't know how visible this is again. But Max is a normal person. And then Noah is just I'm saying that's a holy light. And there's a guy praising the holy light. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of religious references with Noah, I think. The name, movement Buddha, it's just everything.
Well, so this is going to be a noUtility race. We know that Noah has some extreme movement skills inherited from a lot of time spent in noAbility, and more so from noUtility. Noah's primary category is noUtility, correct? So...
So kind of, yeah.
So what are we saying in terms of the betting pools right now between Noah, very high-ranking noUtility runner, and something Max?
100% Noah right now. Yeah. Just to balance it out, I'll vote 10 for Max. There you go. It doesn't even count as a percent. Doesn't even count as a percent. It's too little.
Well, we're sorry, something Max, but you put in your time. You do the best that you can, and don't let this. We've seen him screw up in the first race he ever did. He screwed up big time. You could take him. Max. Just don't expect it, but run your best. But you probably not. But you can. Up. It could happen. Give up now. It's just. All right.
Let's get this started, right? Right? Okay. 5, 4. Over the timer, Ronan. Does the timer.
I've got my finger on the button.
4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
It worked.
And they're both off.
We've got rainbow trucks again, haven't we? Another thing that we've been talking about in speedrunning community a bit is whether or not these modifications so that you can change the color of truck should be allowed and whatnot. My opinion is no, because I'm, that's what I gotta be. I'm, as the chief jackass in charge right now, I gotta be the guy who's like, absolutely not. But I don't see any particular problem with it. So, both runners after the first 5 levels, in the same level together there, certainly a gap emerging between them, but, no big, guffaws from Max early in the run that would put him behind.
That's the trick, the not dying trick. It's really effective.
Yeah, that is, better movement is all good and grand so long as you're still clear on the levels, but if you're going for the fastest strats humanly possible and you miss one of those 20s, those 20-second levels after reset, then the runner who's just consistent can and will beat you to it. Oh, Noah misses the goal plane on 1-9, going to the outside there a little bit early, looking for some levitation to get him in, and he was just under the goal plane too. That goal plane below the actual goal tape there is, it goes down significantly, which gave something Max a chance to get into the lead, which he currently has in 2-1, managing to pull off that pause bounce in the first 3 or 4 attempts, I believe, and move out. Noah's still going for it as Max clears out 2-2.
If they just did the level normal, they'd be further ahead for both levels.
Oh, and Max almost dying there, but not panicking. He's got a whole bunch of levitation in his pocket right there that he manages to hang on to keep himself alive and move into 2-4. Just try to not fall off any trucks and also avoid running into the placards. Oh, almost managed to hold it together, but that death puts him neck and neck with Noah into 2-4 here. Let's see who comes out first. Max is about 0.2 seconds ahead, coming out of 2-4. You have deafened both of them, right? They can't hear us talking about them, yes?
They have.
Max taking a death on 2-4, Noah regaining that lead, but that is exactly what we're talking about here in terms of you take a death because you're going for the fastest strat, and the guy who's taking the easier way in, the more conventional or just safer route, has a real good chance to meet and beat you on that. Really, when you get down to it, like my PBs that, you know, no ability PBs and any percent PBs. What's going on, AJ? Tell us.
Oh, he's doing the pause balance on 2-7. Make him stop. No, just do the level normally.
My PBs are very much built on, you know, the virtue of routing and safety. And so a lot of people who are faster than me have not as good PBs because they're taking more deaths.
Preach.
Something Max, I'm watching him too. He's going for some really good like levitation boosts where you're hitting the truck, you know, at just the right moment with that touch of levitation to get you at just the right level to get that speed boost off of it. Not getting all of them, but going for them, and that's what I expect to see from runners at this late time in this competition. Everybody's going to be good enough to know exactly what they need to do to get the most speed. I was going to follow that up with a thing, and then I self-censored, and you're welcome. Just 2 levels between these 2 runners, however, and Noah taking a death on the fall on 3-5. Easy one. It's just, it's one of those levels. It doesn't matter how long, how many hours you got into the game. It's always going to steal a death from you once every, 12 or so clears is how I feel about it.
Oh. The way these people do 3-4 is so sketchy to me.
Oh, and Something Max taking that same death on 3-5 and having trouble getting the turn here. Looking like he's relying a little bit too much on the levitation to move him in. Definitely want to let the fall take you and have a very reproducible pattern of your movement and your fall. Interesting sort of technique that he's got too, because that does look like that is his usual pattern, and it involves a significant like intentional oversteer to the left to put him into the right position, and not something that you see from a lot of runners.
Yeah, definitely.
But so that's got Noah into Laser World as Something Max is in 3-8. So still just 3 levels of difference between them, and Noah taking his time on 4-1, not happy about it, clearly, but making sure that he doesn't take that death to the lasers up front. And did Something Max take a death on 3-9 before he got it there? It just seems like he's falling a little bit further behind.
He's trying to do pause bounce on a lot of levels, which is slowing him down a bit. Compared to if he just did the level.
I'm worried. Oh, yeah, I was worried about that. A little bit too much drop off on that levitation attempt on 3-10 for Something Max. He had it, but he needed to stay higher from the very beginning.
There's actually not much of a reason to even pause bounce on this level, 310, because you're not going to get more speed than if you were just to do the movement. So.
Yeah, it's probably just about 3 or 4 jumps that you could practice ad nauseum and know that they're going to come in to get you into a place where you can lev outside the level and know that you're going to hit that goal plane. Noah, however, taking some deaths as well in, I think this is 4-6? Yeah, that was 4-6, going for the fastest method, ill-advisedly. Oh, and Something Max just squeezing right between some lasers on 4-1 there. That was pretty. Noah going for a mega jump to try and get over the bulk of 4-7. Get to the middle trucks here. I don't know if he's got the speed to catch that. Yeah, he didn't quite have what he needed. He managed to make contact with the truck, but it had pulled away too much. That's a much better mega jump that gets him the height he needs to just lev into the rest of the goal, but that has allowed Something Max to close this gap back to just 3-4 levels. Incredible speed from Noah on 4-8.
Don't do 4-5. Okay.
And Noah is going for the mega jump up and over, and apparently he's happy with it. For a 9.7 second clear out of 4-9. Very good.
It's like a dog.
4-10, a great big jump that sends him to the front. Little bit of sort of camera manipulation just to sort of scrub some speed and make sure that he doesn't plow head first into the rotating mountains on 4-10. Puts him into medieval world. I always have to think for a minute to remember what the names of these worlds are, you know? Medieval and ancient in particular, and steampunk, they all have like a similar sort of color palette, and it's easy to get them sort of mixed up in your head.
I definitely get ancient and medieval confused for some reason. Even just the numbers 5 and 6, they look the same to me.
Yeah, it's so interesting, you know, when it's like that language level kind of thing where it's, you know, the difference between the two of them, but then it's like your brain wants you not to because the words have a similar shape or, you know, they've got the same kind of colors or something, just messes with your language, and then your language reverses itself until it messes with your actual concepts. Oh, Noah with some really good speed on that 5-7 exit there. In order to just keep moving, go up and over the wall and lev his way in. Yeah, truck to the face, almost lost it there, but the levitation saves him, puts him into 5-9, as Something Max is clearing out 5-3. And 5-10. I expect to see Noah go for the super fast run off of the last trucks here once he gets down off the corner. He's taking the corner skip. I expect him to hit... No? Oh, with levitation. I didn't know you could do that. Just skip the final landing and go straight to 5-10. Or straight to the end. No utility runners. And with a corner cut on 6-1, taking him to here. I think this was, he was talking about how his method for this level is now like regularly a sub-19, and we just saw it at 18.0 something by the time with levitation, just cutting corners.
Why is the trucks dying? I've never seen that happen. Is it because how he landed on the trucks? I don't know. But
wow, just a direct route in. I had to take a death to go for it, but but a direct route in that cuts every corner and uses a little bit of levitation to make sure that that happens. We do a similar thing in noAbility at the highest levels of the game as well, but I don't think we get it done in 7 point whatever seconds.
No, not at all. I do that strat on 6-2 though for noAbility. It's very fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy it too. It took a long time to get good at too. So we've got Something Max just entering World 6 here as Noah's moving into 6-8 and trying to cut a corner. And trying to cut this corner as well, Something Max on 6-1. And cuts it well. It's not going to be the 18-second clear, and he doesn't quite have the speed that he's looking for. But with a little bit of a mega jump and some lev, he gets out in a 24-second time. It's a hard time to get in noAbility, but I'm sure he wanted more out of it in the noUtility category.
What's he going for?
Wow. And then I look over at Noah's screen and see him just, you know, flying barely between the the boulder and a pillar in order to clear 6-9 at mega speeds, and putting him into World 7 sci-fi world here about how many levels early. Something Max still struggling on 6-2. We've almost got, we've got a full world between these two runners as of now.
To be fair, though, at least until sci-fi, the worlds before are very short. Okay, let's do it. No.
Ooh. All of the levitation to just barely drag his toenails over that, and still holding the levitation in the hopes of getting out. Noah was looking for apparently all the speed that you can possibly get before he takes this jump. A little bit of a nose grind turn in order to get just a tiny bit more height off of it. And now he's got some levitation to actually work with. Manages to put it in on 7-3, I think third attempt there. Is a method that I have not seen before.
Yeah, I've only seen it like once. But now I want to do it.
And it clearly requires so much speed that that's why we saw Noah failing it 2 times in a row, is that you have to get every little ounce of speed that you can possibly get out of the level before you attempt it. Noah, for some reason, getting a little bit hung up on the level transition and click. I think he was trying to click out and do something else on another screen there across 7.5 and 7.6.
Trying to splice.
Had to start the video feed that he recorded earlier. So now, because sci-fi has such long levels, we're looking at what used to be a world difference, and because Noah took those deaths across these worlds trying to go as fast, we're seeing, you know, both runners are just 3 levels apart? 4 or 5 now. So went from a world to half a world.
I told Max 7.3 it's not faster to do the height boost. It's just it's just better to go down. No.
Looks like he's got it on this attempt anyway, but he's definitely leaving time behind as Noah is just standing on his head here waiting for the level to continue on the longest level in the game. Curious what the... Oh! Max just barely managing to stay on that truck as the missile blew it out from underneath him, or find a truck, rather, to grab back onto. Noah's cleared out of the longest level in the game, into 7.9, and he's taken the full speed method, which I invented kind of accidentally or something. I think I was grinding for any percent, and I found that as a possible thing that you could back up with dropping a truck underneath it, and mentioned it in chat. You know, like dropped a link to it, and Noah was like, oh, I'm going to use that in noUtility. And I'm like, well, you might need a truck for that to drop under yourself to make sure you don't die. And he's like, no, I got it. And Noah not going for the safety strat here on the end, but also it not paying off for him. Took him 17 seconds to get out of that. If you're not going to go for the safety strat, you're hoping to be as close to that truck as it exits the little portcullis that it's coming out of as you possibly can be. And he just got kind of stuck hanging out there with the safety strat. You're in a low 15 seconds. So 2-second loss on that, even though he... you know, decided to risk his neck hanging out there for levitation's sake.
He's a safety torch.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh. 8-3, nasty level, no matter what category you're in. Having to move through it the way that you have to in noUtility, it's just very precise to avoid all of these things and then get the kind of lift that you're looking for to get you over that last pipe. But he gets it on the second try. And 8-4, hoping that a truck doesn't slam into his face. He's cleared this. If he can keep the speed, he can go straight to goal on this. And he has, and he does, for an 11.7 second clear. Max into 7.9. Curious to see how he deals with the nasty RNG here. Like a bit of a mega jump, just up and over, put out. It's not hard in noUtility. Both of these runs today have been like, what are they going to do for this one? And they're like, just a mega jump, obviously.
Obviously. Don't do 710.
And Noah's skipping... Noah's skipping the last 2 or 3 trucks there in the hop on the trucks as they're fired up from underneath you level. A little bit of risk there, but I suppose in noUtility with the levitation, the risk is mitigated.
Safety water.
This is so weird, too. Right now, I can hear just ever so faintly in my headphones the little bit of, like, static that comes up. Every time that Noah runs, we get to, like, this point in the race. We get to, like, World 8, near the end, and then that static just emerges out of nowhere, and I end up, like, turning his volume down so nobody can hear it. But it's so odd that it just comes up at exactly this point in, you know, any race that Noah involves himself in. So, verifiers, look for signs of splicing in this if he submits after this one. Oh, something
gets
Max.
worse with the stress. Ah!
Did he? No, he cleared it, right? That was, yeah, okay. I didn't know what you awed at. I was looking at something Max's screen and...
I was Noah dying on to giant gear.
Here on 710, so noUtility, just like trying to catch the bottom of that spinning gear and get a little bit of a grind to send him into hell. We're still looking at just half a world's worth of distance between these two runners. And the levels here in World 8 that Something Max is in and that Noah has just cleared out of are a lot shorter than the other levels. This is a much closer race than you might think it is right now. With Noah in 9-2, dealing with all of the nastiness that hell can offer, and Max in 8-7, it's not that big a gap.
You never know if 9-10, 9-7, that's what I say.
Noah giving us just a little bit of a 360 rotation on the vertical there as he exits 9-3. Comes into 9-4, looking to keep as much speed as possible across these trucks. They are nasty. That was insane for a 10.7. Very difficult time. It's total RNG there. You got to just be crossing your fingers and looking very far ahead to make sure that there's a truck to land on, because it won't always be there. And then just skipping all of the last trucks with a 13.7 out of 9.5. 9.6, he just came across the top of the truck without even touching it, I'm pretty sure. Some kind of maglev movement there in order to keep his speed on the incline of 9.6. And now into the three-headed dog, Cerberus, you know, Satan's primary lieutenant here. And see if Noah can clear it in one try. Very good pulling back because he wasn't quite sure where he was going to land, and that does allow him to clear it one try. He has to give about 3 seconds over what he wanted to do it in, but you know, it's a race, and I would take that in my PB. Oh, almost dying on 9.8, but manages to pull it out. 9.9 now, just needs to cross the chain. Gonna have to wait here. He's not satisfied to wait. He tries for a mega jump, doesn't quite get it, but he's got enough speed that then gets eaten away as he slams into the back of one of these trucks. He's got enough speed and enough levitation to guarantee that he's gonna make it all the way to goal and into 9.10, leaving Something Max just entering hell as Noah tries to set up for this pause boost. Pause bounce? Pause? Pausey thing?
Pausey bounce. Bouncy pause.
A lot of attempts right now.
Okay.
Noah's getting more and more nervous.
2 minutes. He spent 2 minutes on this.
Something Max moving through 9-2, coming to the end now. Noah has had at least one of these jumps that I feel like he probably shouldn't have reset.
Oh, stop it.
You say stop it, but it worked out pretty dang well for him on 9-3. Noah's finally got it. He's up in the air. He's coming down at the button, and he's hit it with, I believe, a clear. Yep, it was the fail skip ending. He managed to pull it in about 21:17, let's say. But again, Noah ends this with Max just 5 levels behind. Not a big gap. Not as big a gap as he would have thought. Noah entered into 9-10 with the entire hell world basically between him and Max, and the amount of time, the amount of attempts it took to get that pause bounce to come in allowed Max to close it to just a 5-level gap. And that is the power of 9-10 to screw you over. That said, the amount of time that Something Max could spend here fighting 9-7 is significant. So he's taken 1 death on 9-7 so far. Quick reset. He's got a good line of trucks here. You want to see these trucks bunching up in such a way that you can, travel across them at that point in the level, because they can choose based on RNG to sort of separate on you. Second attempt, I believe. Max is in on 9-7. Very, very reasonable and desirable for any runner. 2 attempts on 9-7, unless you're going for world record, then that'll probably get you a new PB.
Oh, no 9-9 pause bounce? No. I gotta say, though, Max did a bit too many pause bounces, but,
I want to note that here on 9-9, Max just got, like, the low percentage RNG of having the 2 trucks ahead at the top of the chain. You know what I'm talking about, AJ? Where usually those 2 front trucks fall off to the right, but once every, 25 attempts, you get those 2, 1 or 2 of those trucks to actually be there. When you're going for ILs, you're looking for that, and, if you get it, it means that you could be at full speed, but in the full game, whenever you see it, you go, damn it, I wasn't going for that, so I'm not ready to make use of it. Something Max coming in for the final button press, does not get it, and resets on it. I was wondering, for a moment there, I'm pretty sure Max, considered just dropping his dead body on the button and waiting it out. It's about 23, 24 seconds. Of a wait if you do leave your dead body on there. And at this point, he could have ended quicker by leaving his dead body on the button. It's always like, it's that moment where you're thinking, I could do it, but I could probably get it in faster, and then if it doesn't come in, you're going, you're kicking yourself.
Oh, truly the pause bounce on 9-10. Very fun activity.
Yeah, I've spent hours and hours and hours trying to find something consistent. And I'm not just like doing the general movement over and over trying to find something. I'm trying to find like, what's the logic behind this? I'm trying to find the exact place, the exact velocity, the exact something. And I could tell you, from my experience, I have no idea if such a thing even exists. I think you have a better chance of making it happen after your first, like when you first come in. It's another death! Got a little bit too low. And managed to hit it from the side. But I think you have a way better chance on the first load of the level. I think there's a little bit of magic to that first load, which there is on a lot of levels, where it like gives you an extra bump when you come in, so you get a little bit more height. If you hit it right on the first one, you're probably going to get something you can use. If you don't, you're going to have to have the exact friggin' frame perfect timing on this fall to get it. And that's something, not quite enough. He could still try and get over the arm, but the arm's probably going to try and move on him. It does, but he manages to glitch the animation back into place by being at the right height level and the right place in the level at the time to glitch it back into that place. Whether he understands it, I do, because I've grinded this level and I hate it. Comes in over the top. Looks like he's going to go for a different kind of a strat. Just make sure he's... No! He's got it! I was so worried. He looked like he got too low. That was the lowest you could have hit it and cleared it, but he does. Ending this at about a 25-43, I would say. Very valiant effort to, maintain. He was for going up against Noah in Noah's primary category, and coming into the late game with just, ending the game with just 5 levels between them. Noah ended it, there was just 5 levels between them at that moment. Managed to keep up very well. Very worthy attempt against a player who definitely had the advantage. So shall we drag them in here and browbeat them?
They're already here? Yeah, they're already here and alive, actually.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Oh, crazy.
So Noah, not liking that 9-10, huh?
No, that was horrible. I hated every second of that. Just that entire run was just the worst run of my life, to be honest. I legit, like, halfway through, I just thought, okay, I've lost. That's it.
There was a certain moment
Honestly?
early where something Max overtook, and yeah.
I just got screwed over massively on 1-9.
I knew while watching you on 9-10 too that with each reset, it was just going to be more like I could just see the like little meter next to your head stress indicator going up by like 1%, 1%, 2.5%, 3%.
That's very accurate.
Screen starts vibrating. Max, we need to have a talk, okay? Doing pause balances on so many levels, okay? And weird height boost stuff. If you just did the levels normally, right? You would have been way better off for some of the levels you were doing. You know that?
Well, I'm not really sure about that.
No, I guarantee if you just practice them just normally. Like 310, for example. 310. 310? Don't tell me that pause bounce is faster, Max, okay? Don't tell me that pause bounce is faster. You could have done it faster if you just learned the movement, okay? And you wouldn't have died as much.
But that takes so much time.
You need some discipline.
Max, I will be the counter argument in your favor here because AJ was also going, oh, what is he doing with a pause bounce on 9-3? And that worked out pretty damn well, I'd say.
It's sober.
It was not like I had much time or much experience in noUtility anyway, so I better just practice the pause bounce non-stop and throw it at some random levels, hope that it's faster and more consistent than my actual movement.
When you definitely managed to keep up with, Noah in his primary category here, like I was saying at the very end of the race, Noah was clearing it out in 9-10 with just 5 levels gap because he got stuck there for a while. But right up until the end of the game, we saw, you were keeping within 5 levels for most of the race. Like even after the bulk of the race, you were still just half a world behind. And then across some of the shorter worlds, I believe in World 8, Noah managed to turn it into a whole world gap and then lost that lead, just struggling with the pause bounce in 9-10, which, that's just the pause bounce in 9-10. But I would say, especially where you're saying didn't have a lot of time and experience in this category, this is a hell of a run against somebody who mains noUtility.
There were definitely a few levels where I thought that I did pretty good, but there was also one level that I thought I didn't do so well, which is 9-10. It was so many attempts, and I got so many attempts at the button as well, but then I just mess up right there.
I think it took longer.
Probably, but still.
I was going to say it was probably about even just with the number, I think you probably took a little bit longer, Max, but my thing was, if you weren't listening, which you shouldn't have been, you're supposed to be racing, in 9-10, after the first fail skip, you were overhead of it, and I saw, did you actually consider dropping your body on the button at that moment?
I did kind of consider it, but dropping my body takes long as well. Might as well try it again. It's
mostly it's 24 seconds, I think I've timed it at, that it takes for it to reset just to end the game. So I could have swore I saw the gears of your mind turning. You're right over top of it, you look down, and I saw a hesitation moment and then a reset. Should I do it? Yeah. Shouldn't I do it? And I think, I think you made the right call, keep going for it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it would have made that much of a difference.
Yeah, at that point, the race was over, but still, very, very good showing from you here, and staying alive, and to this point in the tournament, round 4 here. Not a lot of competitors left to go up against. Congratulations on hanging in there.
It's just getting harder and harder, and the fact that I was against Snake in my first match did not really help as well. But I still managed to hang in here till so far, so I'm quite happy with what I accomplished.
I definitely consider you as an old man in Clustertruck at this point, having been around for a year and a half or something, right? Maybe 2 years now. I consider you one of the one of those young new runners with big old quotes around it, because you're not that new, but just who's pushing all of our times up and making the game more and more competitive. So thank you very much for appearing here in the tournament and for threatening so many others.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed myself.
And Noah, congratulations on the win. You say it was the worst run of your life or whatever, and I always hate when people say that because, like, we're sitting back here watching and going, "Oh my God, he got a 9.4 out of level whatever," and you're like, "It was my worst run of my life." It's like, this guy's so egotistical, but it's just in your own head. You're like, "No, I missed that. I missed that. I missed that." We're watching and going, "I've never even seen that strat before. What the hell?"
Yeah, this was technically the debut of some new strats. But I finished 2.5 minutes behind PB. So yeah, and there was enough mistakes and just general fuckery sprinkled around to not have that good of a feeling coming out of it.
A general speckling of fuckery is exactly what we go for here at the Clustertruck Speedrunning Tournament of Champions. That's what a race is made of. Thank you both. We're going to take another break where we just set up for the next race because we've got a third race for you today, everybody. And this one's going to be in a new category. We're going on to no move percent, where instead of having the levitation like we've been watching, you've got the portable truck and nothing else. And this is going to feature Snake and TF. Am I right there, AJ?
Oh, yes, you are. It's scary. It's terrifying, isn't it? Big names, big names.
Really good races here today to pack all three of them in together. So stay tuned for the next race. Give us 7 to 12 minutes to set it up and meet us back here afterwards as we go into the last race of fill time by talking with words while you look up the music. Pawn not out.
Yay. Oh, wait.
Sergeant First Class Graham Breedlove on the trumpet. Master Sergeant Matt Neese with the composition and also the trombone solo.
Will take a hold of me, baby, baby, baby. All alone, baby, won't you come along and hold me? I ain't the seventh son, but I know where I'm from. Let's head on.
Hello, I am the Roninpawn, and okay, there's some weird things going on with my setup there. The mouse took an incredibly long time to drag over and lower the audio. Welcome back to the Clustertruck Speedrun Tournament 2021, as AJ makes satanic symbols out of dry erase markers. As long as you're not drawing on your face, we're fine.
no, we've never done that before. So this time we have the upcoming Snake versus TF and noMov. And not only that, Ronan, how close are they again? How close is this?
Apparently, both runners' PBs are within 6 seconds of each other in this category. So actually, with that in mind, AJ, I've already said it once before, but what can you tell us about the no-move category or noMov percent?
Okay, noMov is like any percent, but we forgot levitation. That's basically it. That's it. It turns all the stuff you do in any percent and makes them like way harder. And yeah, there is elements of no ability, but realistically, you just skip those levels. So yeah, it's just any percent but harder. That's kind of what it ends up being. So yeah.
When it comes to PTBs, what kind of challenges are these racers facing with getting them off without having levitation?
So you can't, for the PTBs and noMov, you just can't hold space because you need the extra speed from not holding space to go further. I mean, you can hold space, it's just a bit harder. But you just need it because no levitation means you need to go faster on your PTBs. So, yeah, that's kind of the story. That's the story of noMov.
Is there someone chopping down a forest outside your house or something?
I'm sure this blending up a body part or something. Who knows? You never know.
You hearing my cups?
But my arm! Okay.
With that information in pocket, and no further ado, Snake TF, 2 runners with a 6-second gap between their PBs. Shall we get this thing started? Shall we kick it off?
We shall. I'm going to start the countdown. Oh, it's scary, spooky. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go!
Throwing that extra early and go at the runners just to mess with them. That's our AJ.
Yay!
I think I might have just
skips.
I think I might have just heard one of the log cutters in the background of your audio there losing an arm or something. I swear I just heard somebody go, ah!
Oh, you know, that's just my mom.
So both runners clearing 1-4 within about a 1.2 second gap. That's my official commentator's estimate. And who's in the lead right now? TF actually into 1-6 before Snake is. Runners may have started a little bit separately due to, you know, the just implicit live stream delay here, but as close as they are. Oh, he says, and then TF takes the death on 1-7 just from falling off of a truck, not quite getting the contact that he needed to load up the next jump. And then an early level, fall off the truck kind of a death that'll happen. We don't even count those as speedrunners, really. But Snake about halfway through 1-9 here. Pushing through to the end as TF is, in the end, coming down from a PPTB up and over the level. Snake dropping a truck just almost instantaneously in order to clear 110. Getting the first try 2-1, sending him up higher than he would like to be. TF going for the PTB instead off of the rock while Snake is doing the PPTB, putting TF into the lead by an entire level.
This is an interesting race. We've swapped twice. Oh.
And TF going for the PPTB on 2-4, getting that. Snake's going to instead run it straight forward. Just going between those placards, not trying to go outside, drop a truck, that kind of stretch, just running it in. And coming into 2-5, 3 seconds maybe? Difference? Snake getting that
Really shows-
truck drop for both of them to clear 2-5 in almost the exact same frame. Into 2-6 here. Snake is crossing and TF is crossing. Snake has the 0.3 second lead right now. Yeah, this is going to be a race, I think, AJ. I think we might have a race here.
Just a little. Like, holy shit.
And the fact that TF dropped that truck and got a little bit of a speed coming into the last jump means that he actually clears that level a moment before Snake just from having the velocity to exit it. Again, pulling off a strat that leaves him with speed at the very end of 2-8 in order to clear that, making a little bit more hay
frames.
and taking a little bit more gain. But not getting luck off of PB Boulder there, just not getting the speed to get past it in time. Which leaves both of these runners coming into 210 at almost the exact moment again. Snake has PPTB'd to the front truck, while TF has managed to get a PPTB that sends him all the way to the end. Snake waiting a little bit to be sure that he's not going to fall and take an unreasonable death on 210. It's a very reasonable moment to just stand back and not die. But TF, meanwhile, is in 3-2 and up and over and in the middle of it as Snake is clearing out 3-1. Oh, and Snake has dropped a truck in order to try and pull this back and can't get the... He tried to set up for a run and jump and it just ate the jump off of it, which means that he's taken a death here and a reset on 3-2, allowing TF to pull ahead and be clearing out 3-4. And getting the first try 3-5 to not lose any of that gained time. Ooh, very quick, immediate 3-7 PPTB to go all the way to the end on that.
Jeez, the start, that was so intense for him. I mean, he could just switch again. Just could switch again, though. You never know.
TF getting the first try
nice
3-9 in for a 5.2. And, oh, didn't like that PPTB? Okay, I think he was just looking for more speed because I think, well, no, this is the thing about noMov, isn't it? He needs everything he can get off of it because he's got no levitation to make it work, and he's taken a death on 310 after the PPTB as Snake is clearing 3-9 coming into 310, and TF still has to deal with the end of the level of 310 because lack of levitation, getting on the outside, hitting that goal plane, and coming into World 4 as Snake is moving into the last couple of obstacles here. Well, TF deals with the RNG inherent to 4-1. He's got a clear path on this pass and manages to move into 4-2, but now we've just got half a world's separation between these two runners, half a level. And it looks to be closing even further as TF gets kind of stuck on a certain truck there.
He's able to throw it in, though.
Oh, that is an
What is the
interesting
strategy?
strat. That is a noMov % exclusive strat as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen that before. Extra little bounce of height and speed in order to push him through to 4-3, but he can't manage to get it out, and Snake has taken the lead moving into 4-4 now. TF going to just have to walk this one in, having gone for a strat that I don't think... AJ, have you ever seen that?
That actually is used in any percent, mostly by Spittle, honestly, for a while, so... Yeah. It's quite interesting. But it can get some fast times, really, really fast times.
Yeah, it looks like a
hopefully the
very
4-5
low
can help,
percentage.
Don't get hit by the lasers, don't get hit by the lasers.
Oh! Hit by the final laser on the gate. Those lasers are invisible. They continue on in perpetuity. Sure, there's an end to them, in big quotes. And then can't manage to land it. Snake is just pushing through out of 4-7 now. as TF is just finally managing to clear out 4-5 after a pair of deaths.
It's like the worst nightmare if you're in any percent runner or noMov. Just hearing the buzz at the very end. Like, couldn't you at least killed me earlier?
Snake had a couple of false starts on 4-9 before he got the pretty version of the PTB that went straight to the goal in super speeds. Now into 4-10. Just needs to make it to goal. drops a little truck for safety, and he's into medieval world as TF is just clearing out 4-8, has 2 more levels to get into medieval before him. Oh, and Snake taking a death on 5-1 right at the end there. Trying to drop a truck, but a little bit too close. Couldn't get under it. Couldn't get it under him, rather.
Jesus, just watched TF do a PTB, right? And then he went like over a laser and under another one. Oh, if TF knew the medieval portable truck boost. If TF knew. You can go so fast, Ronin, if you know those portable truck boosts. Like, every level is just 5-second clear.
Very difficult ones to pull off, though, right? And I would imagine in noMov even more so, not having a lev to back you up in case it comes in a little bit low.
Yes, kind of. I will say the only one that's actually really difficult is the corner one, because you need levitation to make it.
So that'll be here in 5-7, which Snake is, yeah, not even going to go for, just going to wait for the poppers to throw him up. And then I'm wondering if he's going to try and go for speed to exit at the end, or if he's just going to take it safely. It looks like he's just taking it safely. Getting out to the side. Ooh, dropping a truck in what almost seemed like midair, just on the edge of the track, so to speak, in order to get that in. And having to dance along the edges of these obstacles in order to clear out 5-8, which is not desirable, but it is what 5-8 forces you to do a lot of the time.
Nice clear from 5-7 from TF. Doing that pause portable truck boost isn't that bad.
Just 2 levels gap between these runners. Snake having to take a reset on the 5-10. TF going for the up and over on 5-9 as Snake sits waiting for the poppers to give him a chance to clear out 5-10. So Snake will be clearing 5-10 as TF is coming into the end. If he gets a good PTB first try, then he can keep this gap. It looks like he's got something. He's still going to have to land this truck, and he has, and wait for a popper.
Oh.
And he goes for it and just gets punished for it. Those poppers have random timings. They can clap down on you or rise up on you within a pretty significant margin of deviation. So you just gotta kind of take your hat in your hand and go for it. Still, we're talking about just 1 level gap here between the 2 runners, 6-1 being a long one.
This to me feels like one of the closest races we had. But I also didn't watch my own race, so I don't know how that went.
Interesting move from TF to PTB at the end of the second platform there, the end of the strip, and go straight to goal with that without having to deal with any of the additional trucks. Also PTBing over 6-2 and going straight, or PPTBing over 6-2 and going straight to the goal, which has him halfway into 6-3 as Snake clears out 6-4 and enters into 6-5.
Oh, level away, jeez.
And TF going to the outside of the level there as opposed to doing the drop the truck version. Snake has missed the level goal on whatever level it is he's in right now. The 6-7, 6-8. He missed the goal after running the entire level, which is a thing that happens to you rarely. This level goal cube almost seems at 6-6. That level goal cube almost seems to be, I don't know, as though it's like vibrating or changing in size, because look at how far outside of 6-6 TF was when he cleared it. Meanwhile, Snake manages to be, you know, apparently a millimeter outside of the box.
6-7.
Yeah, TF taking the straight drop through 6-7, putting him into 6-8 at the same time.
Putting him back into the lead of the PPTB.
And TF has taken the lead.
Holy crap. My heart is beating, Ronin. I don't know what's gonna happen. Who's gonna win?
I would hope the heart is beat. If it stops, you let me know if it stops. You don't have to update me on the it's still beating part.
Okay, I'll let you know if it's wait.
I would, however, say, like, at this point in the race, though, what we're seeing is like, God, it's so exactly like I'm watching Snake, and this is Snake-a-thon, you know. This is I know exactly where he is, which is that he's got these very good like movement skills and noAtility, and he'd rather rely on those for like safety's sake across places where he might be able to go faster. And TF is just so aggressive in everything that he's doing here that even with Snake's movement skills, you know, it's this back and forth. But I feel like the explanation of Snake is just so perfect in my mind right now. You know, he's making sure to be safe because he knows that deaths are the thing that kill runs and that mess up your races. And it's an absolutely, you know, correct and valid strategy as far as I'm concerned.
Ooh.
That said, Snake is just coming into 7-4 as TF exits it, but Snake pulls off the PTB in 7-4. Oh, but can't find the landing.
It's so interesting he went for that, because I would consider that one of the hardest noMov PTBs. You just don't get enough speed, usually. As Snake just demonstrated.
Yeah, and then trying to find that landing, very touchy, very touchy. Really hard in Clustertruck, generally speaking, once you've got velocity, to stop your velocity, to try and turn back against it. Takes a lot of... you really have to point your camera where you want to go and run hard.
What?
Yeah.
What is Snake doing?
Dropping a truck mid-descent in the diagonal sort of tunnel on 7-5 in order to keep that alive. Wow.
And he also did the any percent PTB on the level, too. That's not something you do in noMov. It's a different PTB. Oh. Snake going for the strategy.
Ooh. I was worried about TF if he didn't drop that truck. It didn't look like he had the right angle, but he saw it too and got that down to save himself. And now TF is into the longest level of the game as Snake is doing the up and over. Still a very long level for Snake too. This is a you know, average 22-second level, I'd say. Some of the fastest people can get it done in sub 20, but it is not easy to hit. And Snake throwing a truck just to make sure that he can land it and walk it in for a 21-second time. Very interesting strats. Oh yeah, so in 7-8, yeah, with the portable truck, you can throw these down into the fans, but without the levitation, you got to choose which fan to throw it at, right?
Yeah, basically. Which one do you want to skip? And usually you want to skip the last one. But ooh.
And Snake has got it, but I don't think he's got enough to get all the way there. So he's just going to land it and walk it in. Well, TF goes for the safety strat here. There's really only half a second to be saved unless you're going for the incredibly dangerous strat, which we could see Snake go for. I'm pretty sure we've seen Snake do that in the races here already once. Snake looking for but not finding the PTB off of the pillar here on 7-9. He's got it on the third attempt, I believe. But TF is an 8-3, getting a nice PTB to at least get him into the end of this level, but there's no guarantee. You first got to land the truck, and then... Oh! It was magnetic levitation. He couldn't actually land the truck for a moment.
Did you see what Snake just did on 7-10? He got to the very top booster and just sat there for the goal.
I've seen that precisely once before.
Yeah, didn't realize he did it full game.
And Snake is, instead of going for the PPTB, Snake is going for the up and over but under version here. And what is this even? He has to pull back in order to slow himself down in order to land these trucks. And now he's just going to have to wait for these pipes to go forward.
Oh, playing it safe. Don't blame him.
Oh, TF smacking his face on the bottom of that one. This is that no-move difficulty, but you see how big the level complete goal is underneath it.
Yeah. Okay. See,
TF is going
the level
outside
that Snake's on right now
for the PTB off the wall, and in with a 16-2.
Did he do the double PTB?
Just the one. I believe.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't see. He might have done both of them.
I didn't see either.
Off the back wall and then again, I didn't see. It was double, says Cerastes.
Yep, yeah, he did. He did chat said it's a double. It's crazy.
And meanwhile, Snake, in the level where we're still talking about it, just rode out the trucks and got completely hosed over by it. A truck came up from behind, pushed it into a wall, and there was no way to save it.
Maybe that's why you do the double PTB. Maybe that's why you did it. Curious to see how that's going to work for TF. 810 PPTB. Okay,
He's
I
up
guess
and
it just
over.
gets over the gears.
He's going to land this guy, and then goes for another PTB, doesn't get it, so now he's just stuck here waiting for the trucks to go, but he's created his own little mess there, and can't get to the trucks as they pull away, and has to start the level over again.
Honestly, he would have been
Snake
better
is
off just
getting
trying for the PTB.
Incredibly unlucky in his truck choices here, apparently. He's still just now clearing 8-7. After getting hosed over multiple times by some of the wickedest RNG that you can possibly get. Once you're on those front trucks, the odds of something coming up from behind and pushing it off the way it did in the first instance are basically non-existent. That is a, what is it? GDQ RNG right there. You know? How many times during GDQ does a runner say, I've never seen that happen before, we just got some GDQ RNG.
Oh, can TF land on those trucks? Ah!
Oh!
Lava got him.
Going for the PTB off the platform. Looks like he's got something good this time. Just needs to touch a truck and
Spicy
bounce
orange
to the
juice.
exit. And Snake has managed
Did he get the PTB?
I'm not sure what he did to get to the end of that 8-10. Holy crap, TF has got one of the biggest PPTBs that you can get. It's enough, just barely enough, to get over 9-3. Wow. But we have just two levels between these runners yet again. Snake is entering 9-3, while TF is looking for the exit to 9-4.
Nice. Okay, don't do 9-5, TF. Don't do 9-5. The PTB, don't do it. I beg of you.
And Snake pushing through 9-3 with a little bit of dangerous.
Oh, he did it though. He did it.
TF went for the 9-5, but didn't have confidence in it. He had the distance.
If he had confidence,
yeah.
If he had the confidence, he could have made it.
He resets being uncertain, and that means that both runners are in the same level in hell, the last 5 levels of the world here, at the same time. TF coming into 9-6, climbing the hill. Snake just using some good noAtility style movement to push through 9-5 as fast as he can. TF taking a little bit of a nose grind to send him up and over. He's going to touch down on this truck, one more, and then jump straight to the goal. Just barely enough velocity to get there without hitting the lava, too. Into 9-7, a very hard PPTB to pull off as Snake is on his heels.
Oh, but he got it
on the second try. Snake not even going to go for it, just going to run the level. As TF clears it in 9.9 seconds after one failed attempt, gets the PPTB early on 9-8, sending him up and over, and this is going to go straight to goal as well, putting Snake far behind as he's walking 9-7 in the long way. Dropping a truck.
Oh, but he's still making it, so.
I hate that. I hate watching Snake do that. I just don't know what a truck's going to do when you try and drop it on those inclines on 9-7. TF running the top of the chain here, getting a little bit hung up on some of these trucks. Moving to the front ones, he's kind of late getting through, but he doesn't get a truck dropped on his head. He's in the
comes down to the 9-10.
He's got the PPTB first try. Can he hit the button? He's got it.
Oh, he did.
And TF...
21.
Yeah, with like a 21-18 or something like that, TF has managed to beat Snake. Snake now clearing out 9-9, coming into 9-10. Going for the pause bounce instead of the PTB. And getting something, but not quite enough, so he throws the truck at it to try and hit it from the side using the truck. Interesting strat. The race is over, and Snakeathon is still impressing me with stuff that I never even thought of.
Yeah, you're showing me this with videos, and like, okay, Snake, stop it. It's so weird because Snake, the reason why he's doing this is because to him the PPTB is harder. And dang.
He
Nice,
managed to
22.
just pull in a sub 22 because I hit that a little bit after. Wow, just sniper scoped the button from that distance too by throwing it in. Insane. A worthy way of ending it. If you got to take the loss, might as well end it like that, huh? Damn. Damn.
Were you all listening to this? Snake and TF, you all were like a level a difference. Literally to the entire race. Until the very end. It was ridiculous. Like, how do you guys... TF, how do you feel about that, right? You won, by the way.
I really didn't expect that. I thought that I lost. The run was average.
My arms are numb right now.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth again. What, incidentally, we talked about the fact that you guys have just 6 seconds between your PBs. Snake has the better PB right now. What are the PBs that we're talking about?
My PB is a 1920 IGT.
1920, so that means Snake's must be a 1914? Something like that?
No, 26. Mine's better.
Oh, yours is better. I've been misled. Wow. Incredible race. One of the I got nothing to say about it. I mean, like, I can't remember anything that happened because it was all happening so much, so fast. Every time that I thought there was, all right, well, there's something to say, all right, we can lean back and just, oh, Jesus, he went for that, and he's got, oh, he went for that, he doesn't have it.
Hey, Snake, you mentioned to me in private messages that, maybe I should say, that you were worried that this race wasn't going to be as close and as intense as mine, right? But I don't know, it seemed pretty good, right? It was very, very intense. You guys switched positions like 4 times, 4 or 5. It was ridiculous. Like, you should definitely watch it. You both, it was amazing. Like, this run. Like, you both did really well. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, I think the difference in the win came down to Snakeathon. You just like sticking with the safe methods. TF was on the bleeding edge a lot of times and took some hits for it, but he also took some games for it. And you know, certain things you just decided to like run 9-7 the conventional way. There were a number of levels where you ran it the conventional way, and I would be on the same page. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to do that for safety. It's a race. I'm going to stick with it. I think that's the only difference here. And even while taking like safe routes in across multiple levels, it was this friggin' close. It was a level difference between you guys coming into the final level. Amazing.
8-8 was pretty bad. How you feeling, Snake, by the way?
I'm upset about 8-7.
Oh yeah, it's 8-7, yeah. I think he died like
right.
2-3 times on it.
That screwed you over in the biggest way. I wouldn't be upset about it. You got like the most ridiculous RNG. I have never sat on the front truck like you were on the first attempt that you had and had another truck come up from behind and suddenly push it off to the left like it did on you. That was, we were saying GDQ RNG. It's the kind of RNG that people go, I've never seen that before, and it always happens live during a race.
Dang, it's just a loss of words, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, so much happened.
Amazing performances from both the runners. Top run, you know, one of the 2 or 3 top runs, if not the top run of the entire tournament so far. And we have more ahead for you. This was round 4. We're moving into round 5 of, I believe, 7. And these rounds have less and less competitors, and all of the competitors are just as good as what you've seen here today. So you might want to be here next weekend when more of these top runners in the game of Clustertruck go head-to-head and give us incredible races like what we just saw from Snakeathon and TF. Thank you both. We'll see you back, TF, in you know, later parts of the tournament. And Snakeathon, just incredible, you know, display of skill, showing off things from the way back and modern. Absolutely beautiful. That said, we have come to the end of Race Day, Clustertruck Tournament 2021, etc. and so on. I should play some music as we exit. You got anything else to say, AJ?
Beautiful. That's all I gotta say.
Well, then what we're going to do as we exit... Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I was just... actually, I should mention that the next, for the winners brackets, it'd be TF versus Wolfie, and that'd be an upper bracket final. So that means it's the best of 3 for that one. But that's not going to be next week, though. The next week is going to be in the losers brackets. So, yeah. Look out for that. Noah versus Snake and me versus LoLo.
All right. As we exit here, I'm going to give you a little bit of a taste of Super Bomb. Bunch of people I used to be in a band with, not Super Bomb. But enjoy yourselves. Meet us back here for the next tournament. In the meantime, stick it to the man. Pull on out.
Down.